Hello, this short video tutorial is about Statcounter and how to create a new Statcounter project so you can track your website activity. And this is inspired by Online Content Marketing in 30 Minutes by author Derek Slater. More information about the book, go to in30minutes.com. But Derek talks about how to use analytics software to basically evaluate how people are using your site, and he calls this a content audit. And Statcounter is one of the analytics tools that you can use to evaluate how people use your site. The one that he recommends is Google Analytics. But I like using Statcounter as well, and the reason why using your website right at that minute, which can be very powerful if you get a lot of traffic. But anyways, let's get right into how to create a new tracking project using Statcounter. So go to statcounter.com, create your account, log in, and then click Add Project. And the first thing that it's going to ask you is the name of the URL for the website that you're tracking. And of course, this needs to be a URL or a website that you own and you can control or you have access to. It can't be a stranger's website. So basically what you do is, for this example, I've just created a very simple test blog on blogger.com just for the sake of showing how to use Statcounter. So I'm going to just view the blog. As you can see, there's no content there yet, but we just want to install Statcounter. That's all we're interested in. So basically, what you do is you go to the site and get the URL, copy it, go back to Statcounter, paste it in there. Project title, call that whatever you want. I'm just going to call it Test Site on Blogger. Project group, you can ignore that. Change your country and time zone according to where you live. Make statistics public. This is one of the things that you can just leave blank. You don't need to make that public. This is a related thing, a visible counter. And basically, if you have it, a counter that looks just like this will show up at the bottom of your website showing how many people have looked at the website since Statcounter was installed. They have different types of things. And basically, I actually don't like to show anything, so I click Invisible Tracking. By default, it emails you reports every week, and this is using my address where I registered my Statcounter account. And if you want to, you can have a daily report or weekly report or monthly report, or you can have nothing. And I usually do nothing because I have enough email. And click Add Project. We're not done yet. The next thing that needs to happen is you have to copy some code. This is HTML and JavaScript code, and then put it on the website. And this is the part that trips up a lot of people because they have no experience doing it. It's actually not that hard to do on a Blogger website, because Blogger was really Google designed Blogger to be easy to use, and this is how you can put the tracking code on. So it's automatically detected that the URL, that is my test site, is a blog spot, so it knows what sort of code to give. If it didn't know, it would present you with a bunch of different options for different types of sites like Blogger or WordPress or Movable Type or Drupal, and you'd select that, then get a code like this. But anyways, what you want to do is click once in there. It will highlight all the code. It's very confusing stuff. I know what most of this stuff does, but we're not here to explain the ins and outs of how it works. We just want to know how to get it installed. Copy to clipboard. It says it's copied. There's some instructions, by the way, about how to do this, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. So then you go back to your website. You don't have to look at the website, but you actually have to go to your Blogger dashboard or whatever system that you're using. And you have to find a place to put the code. And for Blogger, the best place to put the code is actually using the layout section. And this layout basically lets you put little widgets onto your website. And many other content management systems like Drupal or WordPress, you can do something similar. Not exactly the same, but if you can find a similar function on the platform you're using, just use it. So in Blogger, they have all these boxes and whatnot. And if you want, where I usually put the tracking code is in one of a gadget down here. And gadget just means it's like a little box containing text or numbers. And sometimes people put things like a badge or an icon or a follow me by email. But what we want to select is HTML JavaScript. And basically what this is, it's a little box that will contain HTML or JavaScript. And that happens to be just the type of code that we have from Statcounter. So we've copied it over. Don't have to give it a title. Just go to Content, and then you paste it in. There we go. This is the exact same code that we had from Statcounter. You can even see they have some some text explaining what it is. You paste it in, hit save, and then you can see it's down here. And then you click Save Arrangement and View Blog. Now, you won't be able to see it, but the code is actually on this page somewhere. And what this means is when people start to visit the page, you can see statistics related to how they use it. That could be, and Statcounter will show that to you. So we've pasted that in. One other thing that Statcounter lets you do, it lets you check to see if you've installed everything correctly. So let's click that now. Check installation. It's checking. It says code partially detected. There's only one page on the website, so I think that's why it's giving this information, but it says you have correctly installed the Statcounter code on your home page. That's all that counts. And we could not find the code on subsequent pages, and that's because there's only one page. So, done everything correctly, Statcounter is installed. That means we can start seeing how people are using the site. There's another video about how to use Statcounter for doing simple content audits or evaluating how people are using the site. I also urge you to read Online Content Marketing in 30 Minutes by author Derek Slater, available from in30minutes.com. He really gets into the details of how to audit your website using a tool like Statcounter or Google Analytics, and then how to optimize your website for getting people to stay longer or do the actions that you want, such as buying something or taking some other action that's desirable to you, maybe participating in some forum or discussion or whatever. In30minutes.com explains how it's done, and you can also find more videos about Statcounter, Google Analytics, etc. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.